And coming here live from the MrMuscles of the RCD Lake. We are here with the 30th edition of ESL Pro Tour Open Cup, the Asia division, or circuit if you will. I am your host, Yaku of Yakuzaku, and with me today is El Poder que son los ocho Ella himself, Light_VIP. How we doing, Light? In something we haven't had for a while. And by that I mean having time to intro.
Yeah, it's been a while. We didn't have to rush into it. And what's up, Yaku? Thank you for the introduction. And mate.
We're back.
We're back. You're back. I'm back after.
Yeah, I'm back after about a couple of days. You're back after an hour? Question mark.
An hour and like 30 minutes.
An hour and 30 minutes. Yeah, you know. I'm sure that extra half an hour really helped.
It did. It actually did.
Oh.
I ask for the people in the chat to please give me your energy, as I've just come off an 8-hour long cast with Yoda Slim. It was great. It was beautiful. Many clips were made. And I may have lost my mind a little bit. But you know what? That's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's why you're casting Madness.
Exactly. It's gonna be great.
It probably is. And speaking of great, we are going to be loading in onto the LE submarine, of which we all reside in. The LE submarine. LE submarine. Or I guess LA submarine if it was somebody. No, wait, I'm not sure if that works. In the bottom right hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom right hand corner of the map, we have a red Terran player. Coming out all the way from the land of Korea. He is the #1 hype man KR. Gonna be representing Archangel Academy here. We have Control.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Submarine LE, we have the Swedish Protoss player, currently teamless. It is MrMuscles.
You see what I see, like, on the production tab.
So, loading into this game, MrMuscles, aka Madness, he was like, you know what, guys? I'm gonna make this fun. I'm gonna make this worth your while.
He very much so did. He kind of knew that there's gonna be a stop, and that's one way to please Light. I can tell you that.
Oh my god. Control's already lost. Look at that. He didn't even have the SCV in place to deny the gas steal. Wow.
And with that, Madness doesn't even care. He's just gonna park his probe.
Exactly. And as we saw, we didn't mention it, but it was a forge first. We got cannons on the way.
Indeed, we do. And a beautiful pylon block coming out here from Madness on top of that.
Oh.
Yeah, this is gonna be a little bit difficult for Control to deal with, I can tell you that.
Yeah. Really great pylon positioning is stopping any add-on from being thrown down. To be fair, he's not going to throw one down as he needs as many units as he can. And ooh, even forcing a cancel on that bunker.
Yeah, that was not something I expected at all. Looked like maybe that bunker could have came up. But yeah, trying to retreat into a more fortifiable position. Does have the backup bunker up and ready to go. So that's Control already preparing. Does know that he'll be giving up a little bit of range though. So he wants to get rid of as many buildings as he can before retreating to it.
Oh, and one of those cannons was killed, by the way, from those Marines, and another cancel as well. It looks like the cannon to the back is going to finish though. Maybe? I mean, oh no,
there are 4 Marines out right now, like. Ooh. And with that, that probe is in a lot of trouble. Good target firing. And there is not any, well, I say there's not any high ground vision until I realize there are literally 3 pylons here.
It's like, and with that probe, he's denied. Oh, never mind.
Never mind. I completely forgot what I was looking at. But, yeah, these are starting to get dealt with, though. And with that, these cannons are not quite in range. Well, they wouldn't be. Control has to be a little bit more careful, but good control coming out from him.
Yeah, it's what we expect from our Korean Terran player. His amazing control, and I mean, if you're a Terran player out there and maybe you're having some issues holding some cannon rushes, like this was pretty solidly held.
Yeah, it very much so was. I had something similar to this happen to me literally yesterday, Light, I gotta tell you. So yeah, I'm just gonna be reviewing this this replay a lot.
Yeah. I mean, you know, pretty nicely done from control. I mean, again, these cannons, they aren't going to really achieve too much. They killed 2 depots, or I think 1 depot actually, which is nice, but yeah, that's all they managed to get done.
Yeah, I know you just hate it when that happens. And behind this, control. He's looking pretty good. Madness only now throwing down that Nexus. We got a Proxy Liberator coming out. What is the anti-air situation looking like? Not too good, I can tell you that.
It's non-existent. The only anti-air he has is the cannon that's being thrown down at his natural, and that's not quite in position.
Well, if it tried really hard, if it took like the geometry into effect, right? It could, maybe.
The geometry?
Yeah, the geometry. And MrMuscles just about spotting that Liberator coming out. The pylon only now getting thrown down the mineral line.
Yeah. Oof. There's not really much to do about this Liberator. He does pull his probes away, but he gets
called. He is called. And Control gonna be taking game number 1.
Yeah. Again, this is kind of expected, but go on.
Yeah, you know, I was just saying, it's a really good sport that MrMuscles is right now, you know. He knew that there's going to be a little bit of a skill imbalance between the two, so, yeah. He's just having fun, playing it out, you know.
I mean, from Brave players, like, there's a reason why we call Control the #1 hype man EU, right? Like, he's a good guy. He's a nice...
Well, sorry, I mean, he might do some EU on the side, so... Well, we don't really know. Yeah, step it up a little, Dante.
Sorry. Oh, and I will just quickly let Mr. Muscle know where we are. And yeah, we are going to be getting into game number 2. One of the other reasons why I wanted to get into this series, by the way, is I hope you're happy. I can see it now. I can see it. I look at the bracket and I could see the PvPs. Like I could see the bracket transforming before me, and I could see where we could go to get like 3 or 4 PvPs in a row. And it was tempting. But you know what, Yaku? You know what? I was like, Control, you know, he's not going to be with us for a while. Like,
yeah,
you know,
his time is coming up.
Yeah, so you know what? Let's give him some love. Let's give him some love.
And speaking of love, we are now going to be having that love on the Golden Wall L to the E. Although it's not quite French. Here, in the left side of the map, spawning all the way in the left side of the map, it is our red Terran player. Once again, going to be coming down from the land of Korea. He is really going to be living up to his name, both in and out of the game. The #1 hype man, KR himself, we have Control.
And spawning in at the bottom right-hand corner of Golden Wall LE, we have the Swedish Protoss player currently representing himself as he is teamless. It is MrMuscle.
And yeah, going back in. Oh, there's a gas seal. There's the second gas seal coming up. Control, he saw it this time. He saw it, but it was just a little too late.
Oh my god, and as we can see, you know, judging by my ladder sessions, NA Terrans, they're just more prepared than Korean ones.
Obviously, clearly.
Clearly. But already, well played by MrMuscle, getting in there, stealing that gas.
He's basically already won, yeah?
He's basically.
I'm surprised Control decided to play this out.
Right now, it's on MrMuscle to throw away his advantage because he is miles ahead.
Can't even see it so far ahead. But Control, he's a fighter. He is sticking in there, and I suppose that's going back into what we were talking about as we were loading in. He did receive his what's it called? Not the eviction notice, enlistment notice. That's the word.
He got the eviction notice.
Yeah, he did get his enlistment notice. Just to inform him that he will have to report to a camp at the end of September. So yeah, his time with us is gonna be a little limited for a while, and yeah, we decided to just see what he can get done.
Yeah, it's honestly a bit of a shame because I feel like Control is someone who we haven't had with us for too long. Like, you know, obviously we were watching him compete last year, but before that, like 2017 or 18, like he wasn't anywhere near as active. He really came into form this year. This was his year where he was practicing with all these other Korean players like Chance and Percival, and on a prominent team as well. And yeah, it's kind of short-lived.
It really is. But I'm actually a little optimistic here. As Control, he's going in at a relatively young age. I believe him and I are the same age, so there's a lot of potential that he might just come out in the military and pull a Dongri Gu.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's definitely a silver lining where he's going incredibly young. He is like 19 at the moment, I believe, or maybe still 18 and turning 19 this year. Yeah. So, like, because of that, he's going to come back young as well, and I'm sure if StarCraft is still around, and in 2 years it will still be around, you know, he will be able to come back into this, continue to compete, and yeah, just focus on that and not really have the whole military enlistment, like, looming over his head.
Like so many.
Yeah.
But speaking of looming, Madness coming in with the double Stargate. Should be seeing some Phoenixes coming over. Bit of a looming threat, but that's actually a fleet beacon right off the bat on 2 bases. On 2 bases, what are we gonna see, Light?
So this is weird. I don't understand the point of the Forge. Maybe the Forge is meant to throw your opponent off when they scout it, but the Reaper makes it into the main base anyway.
I think it might be for static defense. Potentially, this is a good surround. This is a really good surround, but not quite enough, and Control does get the edge of the fleet beacon.
Wow, so he does spot it, and he will confirm it as well as his Reaper is still alive, zooms on past, sees the double Stargate, sees everything there is to see, and this is very Pocket Mike-esque. I don't know if you've had the luxury of casting Pocket Mike.
I don't think I have, but I've watched Pocket Mike.
You've experienced the Paco Mike. And this is something that he loves to do in PvZ. He does it fairly frequently, like in every other best of series, he throws it out. But yeah, MrMuscles doing a variant of it going right into carriers. But
when you go right onto carriers, you have a little bit of a risk of running right into Marines, and Control is looking to deal with that. He has had enough. He's got his gas stolen from him, he can't get stim, he's behind on gas. He's had enough. He's taking all of his Marines and bunching them across the map.
Well, you know what doesn't take gas? Marines.
Exactly.
What a big brain.
I wouldn't have even thought of this, I can tell you that.
Yeah, right. He saw his disadvantage. He saw that he was going to be so far behind in gas. He's like, you know what? I can just make Marines. He makes Marines. He pushes out across the map. Shield battery overcharge is being used right now. The Stalker just won't die.
Wow, well, I guess that's why you can't just rely solely on Marines then.
Look at that 5-head play with the gas seal. No, he knew the Marines were coming across the map, and he was ready for it. With
what are you going to make without gas? Marauders? You're not making Marauders without gas. Come on.
Yeah, he's not wrong. Exactly, and the carrier comes out just in time to deal with the Liberator, so the Liberator immediately gets dealt with. The Stalker buying so much time with that shield battery, but it does run out of energy. And like, how much did Control just spend trying to go up that ramp?
A Cyclone, a bunch of Marines, I can tell you that, 9 to be exact. And
yeah,
what we can tell you definitively is a lot more than what Madness lost.
Exactly. He is Madness right now. MrMuscle, he knew exactly how he was going to play out the series. He saw the future, and he knew what Control's response was going to be. And now the carrier count, it's getting higher.
It is. We're about to hit critical mass pretty soon.
God damn it, Yaku. To be fair, we are like we've got two. A third one is on the way. A fourth one as well. Like, oh,
Ooh.
he's a little bit wide up there, which is a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be careful with that. And you know, we talk about Madness kind of throwing away that gas steel lead. That's one way to do that.
Yeah. Exactly. If he was just a little bit more on top of his supply, then maybe like he wouldn't be in the situation he is now, where Control, he's macroing up, he's taking a third base, he's getting a decent marine count, and at this point now we're seeing a more critical mass of marines that can deal with carriers, but carriers they're pushing out.
Carriers on your own. They are starting to push out right now, and there's no easy way for these marines to hit them. But I think Control realizes that too. His stim is just about to finish up, and he is moving across the map.
Oh my god, are we going to see a base trade, Yaku?
Probably not.
Oh my god, we have missile turrets, we have Widowmines being set up in the main base of Control, so he's already prepared for the carriers. Meanwhile, we have the tanks, we have the marines, we have everything here across the map, and the carriers, they're not here to defend.
No, they're not. Just about everything is about to go down. The carriers, they slowly make their way across. They're starting to move into the Widow Mines. And the Widow Mines, they are taking care of a decent amount of interceptors. Not too many. Control's macro, though, has just been impeccable. Look at the Marine count coming out here. They're just picking off these interceptors one by one. Eventually, they're going to get to a point where they can just walk on top of these carriers. No problem.
Yeah, to be fair, though, right now, MrMuscle, he's banking a lot of minerals, knowing that his economy would be in trouble and knowing he needed those minerals for the interceptor, so he can lose as many as he wants. He has plenty of minerals to replace them. And, but the problem is now the Marines are
replace them, though. Yeah.
Exactly. And he's not even on this half of the bracket.
Oh, yeah, he's not. Time's on the, time's on the other half.
I was guessing with that one. I wasn't too sure, but just throwing it out there.
And with that, Control is going to be able to take control of the Madness, so to speak, forces to recall the rest of the carriers, and with the interceptor count out right now, and with the fact that they are just almost being sent out to their death, I do not see Madness coming back from this.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said it before, he just needs time, and time is nowhere to be found.
Madness will unfortunately be out in the bracket right now, but Control, taking the lead.
He does. As you said before, he takes control of the Madness with that 2-0 victory, and he's gonna need it.
He is gonna need it. I just look back on the bracket right now, Light, and he was up against a bit of a mad Protoss player initially. Now he's really gonna have a run for his money, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely. So he took out one crazy Protoss player, another awaits him. This is another reason why I wanted to follow this series, as we are going to be heading into Control versus SOS.
That's I gotta be wondering. I'm just wondering right now what Control's thinking. I just put out that series, and now I have to go into SOS. Ah, man.
Exactly. Just one after the other. But what we are not having is a bunch of PvPs, which we could have. I was very tempted. Yeah, like Probe's in the bracket. We've casted him many times. I was very tempted to cast Gyelzing versus sorry, not Gyelzing. Starduck was going up against a Protoss player as well. I think it was Zaun. Starduck versus Zaun. Yeah, like that would have been really cool to go into. If we got into that, it would have probably gone into the winner versus creator as well. But again, like I did want to give some love to Control. Like, we love him. He's a supporter of our channel as well. Like, we want to support him as best we can for as long as we can. As Yaku was mentioning it, and we didn't specify, but Control is going to the military next month.
Indeed, he is.
Yeah, it's I mean, I wish him the best of luck, right?
Yeah. I don't know what. I thought of, like, yes, what is some advice I can give? Now I realize, oh, wait. I don't have anything.
I've never been to the military. This is accurate.
I dodged that.
But yeah, I mean, you know, regardless, I know Control, he is on the team. He did recently join a team, and even though he has only a short period of time with us in the StarCraft scene, he is doing the best. He's training hard. He wants to make these final days, these final weeks as memorable as possible. You know, so he can cherish these memories for the time that he has in the military.
Yeah, to fuel him
Then when
forward.
he comes back. Yeah, definitely. And what better way than to take it to one of the most crazy Protoss out there?